Write down 3 things that brought you here today. I mean, really write them down. Write out 3 things that brought you here today. Please don't tell me you came to see me. That was a waste of time. So write down 3 things you'd like to get out of this session today. And then during the day, by the way, if you have a question, I'll answer it. Just raise your hand. Let me call on you. I'll answer it. If it's one of those questions that takes me off, I'll say, we'll table it for the break and we'll discuss it later. You guys okay with that? All right. Now, when you ask me a question, please keep it short. I don't want to hear your life story. Not today. But later on I will. Okay? Go. All right? Everybody with me so far? Yeah. All right. Now, if we don't know what we want to sell, and what I want to do is start orienting what I'm going to talk about today. How many people here want to make a 6-figure income? You know, all of us, right? If you look at the majority of people in the nation today, a lot of people don't make 6 figures. The average is around 50,000. So I'm assuming the reason that you're here is because you're trying to get to a 6-figure income, whether it's working for a company, but I'm going to focus more on small businesses and entrepreneurs. Is that the majority of people here? Yes. Or at least thinking about getting into their own business? Good. If you don't know what you want to sell, it's a problem, all right? Okay, so we're going to talk about that. If we don't identify who we're selling to, is that a problem? Yes. Absolutely. Is that a problem? Oh, yes. All right, just want to make sure you're still alive. If we don't know how big the market is, do we have a problem? Yes. Because a lot of us will go out and develop a product or a service without checking to see if there's even a market available. How many of us here, by show of hands, know somebody who started a business without knowing how big the market would be? Right? Because we work it backwards, right? I'm going to show you a tool right after lunch that's going to help you identify how big a market is, okay? As I go through this presentation, I'm going to give you tools, but tools that when you walk out of here, you'll be able to use to check. Is that good? Yes. All right. Now, the last thing is, if we don't know how to market, and we can't market effectively, are we going to get business? No. What is the biggest cost in business today besides the actual operations cost? Marketing, right? And a lot of us need to know how to market effectively. Do you agree with the statement? I don't care how good your product is. I don't care how good your product is. I don't care how great your service is. If nobody knows about it, you will not be successful. That's correct. I used to laugh at marketing people. Who has a marketing background here? I used to laugh at you guys. I really did. Because I said, what a weak degree. You know, that's not a real degree. That's like, you know, until I started understanding when you get into business that if you cannot market your product, you're not going to be successful. So to my marketing folks, I apologize. You were right. Marketing is a great degree. Can't always be right, right? So I'm going to break up the day into 2. We're going to talk about the top, what, who, how big, and how to effectively go after that market. Are you still with me? Yes. All right. Now, to make it a productive day, I need you to do 4 things. The first thing is to listen. Okay? Just listen carefully. Once in a while, I talk too fast. So just listen. It's going to be a lot of information. Take good notes. Okay? Now, when I say write this down, what do you do? Write it down. Ooh, you're quick. It's Miami. Okay. Now, when I ask you to participate, like if I ask you to raise your hand, will you please raise your hand? Because I need to know. And by the way, this might be the only exercise you get all day. All right? So work with me, all right? So to make sure you're with me, now I'm going to ask you if you get it. I want you to respond with got it, okay? I'm going to say get it, you say got it. Get it? Got it. Good. All right. We're moving. Can we have a little fun? Yeah. Just a little fun, all right? We're going to keep this moving fast. We're going to have a little fun today, all right? Are you guys okay with that? Yeah. All right. Now, my guarantee that by the end of the day, you should walk out of here with more than 4 or 5 ideas on how to create a 6-figure income. I'm going to give you so many ideas, so many strategies, that this is how I want you to view today's seminar. Is everything I'm going to talk about for you today? Yes. No. No. See, you went the wrong way on me. Is everything I'm going to present for you today here? No. It's like a buffet. So what I'd like you to do is, when you look at the ideas, take those things that work for you. I want you to pluck out those ideas that work for you. Are we good with that? Yes. Get it? Yes. Good. All right. Background. Let me just step out of the presentation. For those of you who don't know me, Victor Gonzalez. This is my background. About 3, 4 years ago, I decided to quit corporate America. How many feel my pain? It was one of those things that, you know, I just didn't want to be in corporate America anymore. I'd been there so many years, and I hit the 37-year mark, right? And see, now you can figure out how old I am. And when I hit the 37-year mark, it was one of those things you start thinking about all the things you've never done. How many have thought that way, right? You start really reflecting on, you know, it's not what I originally planned. And so at 37, I decided to quit. And it would have been easier for me if when I first started out, my family's originally from Puerto Rico. How many Puerto Ricos in the house? A couple? There you go. And so from Chicago? Yeah. North side. Anyway, so we were kind of poor. You know, it was food stamps, government cheese, and powdered milk near the Cabrini Green housing projects. Can you relate to me? Yeah, that's where it's from. So it was tough going to school, tough getting going. I have a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, made it out of the hood. I have an MBA. And when I told my mother that I was going to quit my job, she didn't understand. But now, this is what she didn't understand. My base salary was $250,000. My average commission checks every year were about $300,000 or $400,000. And so when I told her, listen to this carefully, I said I'm going to quit to be a speaker. What do you think she said? That's exactly what she did, actually. She laughed, just like that. She laughed. She goes, so you're telling me that people are going to pay you to speak? I said, yeah. What do you think my friends did when I told them this? They laughed, right? Because they all do that, right? When you tell them what you want to do, they just laughed. And so I said, fine, and I'll get into how it all turned out later on. But my background is, and I know we have some business people here, if you know some of the telecom companies back then, I was a VP of international sales for a $3 billion company. Also, this is the company, it was a $420 million company. And then back in December, we just finished selling a $7 million company that I was CEO of. We sold it to MCOR, large company, $160 million company, publicly traded, and they were acquired. And so this is my background, and I give you this background because I like to look at things from both sides. I can look at it from a business side, and we can talk about return on investment and all those beautiful MBA terms. But I noticed that education has a problem. What do you think the problem with education is today? What's education's greatest problem today? Formal education. What is the formal education? If you get a formal education, what is the greatest problem? Experience?
Thinking they have to put something into people they don't already have.
Okay.
They don't teach you how to make money.
No! There it is! That's the one I'm looking for. See, she says they don't teach you how to make money. They'll teach you everything about money. You'll study Gaussian distribution curves on how money fluctuates. You'll study ROI, marginal, you know, everything you need to know. But if you take the average person who says, now go make money without working for a company, what do you think most people do? They can't do it. They can't do it. Schools, university condition us to what? Get a job. Isn't that what we get? Yeah. And so when I quit corporate America, the reality hits me. I got to figure this thing out. And so all these things I'm going to discuss with you are the things I figured out to get to a six-figure income on my own. Okay? Get it? Got it. Good. All right. All right, going to do an exercise. All right. Now, this is what I want you to do. We're all going to do this exercise. Each row is a group. In fact, this is a group. You're a group. Each row is a group. You, Jack, turn around. This is a group here. Just form groups. I need you to form groups. Find your own groups. Form a group. But don't move. Okay, okay, now this is what I want you to do. All right. Now, this was, by the way, each one, listen up. Don't get carried away. All right, first thing I want you to do, get a small piece of paper. Just a small piece. Just cut out a small piece of paper. Cut out a small piece of paper. Cut out a small piece of paper. Don't stare at me. Cut out a small piece of paper. All right. Everybody got it? Small paper. Now, this is what I want you to do. You see that? That's a paper clip. Listen to these instructions and listen carefully. Guys with the cool suits, you can do this too. I know you can. Okay? Now, this is what I'd like you to do. This is what I'd like you to do. I want you to list out ideas for how you can use a paper clip. Now listen to my instructions. I want you to write down good ideas of uses for a paper clip. Okay, each of you. I want everybody to do it. Now, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do it. But again, good ideas on how to use a paper clip. Different ways. Ready, get set, go. Right. 30 seconds on the piece of paper. Good ideas on using a paper clip. Good ideas. That's what I want. Just good ideas. Give me good ideas, folks. Bert, no cheating. You can't help Jack. Okay? No cheating. You can't help each other out. You're on your own. I know independent thinking really kills you at this point. Okay? You have now 5 seconds. And I'd like you to stop. Stop. Everybody stop. Okay? Everybody stopped? Everybody stopped? Okay, good. Now, how many people came up with one good idea? Raise your hand. At least one good idea. Raise your hand. Okay, if you didn't raise your hand, you came up with 0? Okay, at least one good idea. Raise your hand. 2 good ideas. Keep your hands up. 3 good ideas. 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6. That's lousy. Very lousy. I'm so disappointed in you guys. So, okay. We're going to do it again, but this time we're going to ask for help. This time I want you to form groups. Everybody's got their group. Now, I want you to select one person in the group to do all the writing. One person in your group is going to do all the writing. Select one person. You guys turn around, work with these guys. Okay. You two guys, work here. Work here. One guy, wait up, don't start yet. Do not start. Shh. Okay, everybody quiet. You got to listen. You got to listen. Here we go. Everybody ready? Listen. Okay, ready? Here it comes. Now, this is what I want you to do. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Ready? Now, this is what I want you to do. Okay, ready? Now, this is what I want you to do. Shh. Come on now. I'm trying to get something done here. Okay, this is what I want you to do. One person is going to scribe, right? One person is going to scribe, and then everybody's going to just solicit ideas. This is what I want you to do. I just want you to write. Don't think about all the ideas. Everything that they give you, you take in, okay? I don't care how wild the idea, how crazy the idea is. I just want you to, bam, just slap it on the paper, okay? At 30 seconds, get ready. By the way, everybody's got their groups? Okay, okay. The winner will get a high five from me. Ready, get set, go. Remember, just write them down. Just write every idea you got. All right. By the way, the group that wins gets a free book. The group that wins gets a free book. Go. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Come on, pens up. That's it. No more writing. No cheating. No cheating. I'm watching you. All right, now. Only the scribe, the person that actually wrote the stuff down, okay, raises their hand. 5, okay, keep your hands down. I know you're excited. You're excited. Boy, I got ideas this time. Okay, how many had at least 5 ideas? 5 ideas. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How many you had?
16.
16? Come here. Step up here. So you got 16. How many did you have? 15? Ooh, that was good. Okay, 16 ideas. I just got to check to make sure some are right. Okay, read some of those.
A necklace holding the hairpin to prevent nervous tick. Money clip to clean things. Okay. Key holder, keychain, reset computer as a toy to hold.
Whoa, what was this one?
Oh, sorry.
What's this one? Roach clip.
There's no roach.
All right. Thank you very much. Give her a hand. Give the team a hand. Right here? All right. I'll talk to you later. All right. Now, by the way, now, let me describe to you what happened. Let me describe to you what happened so you understand what physically happened to you and what I did to you. When we talk about brainstorming, coming up with ideas, when we were doing it the first time, did some of you say, well, that's not a good idea. That won't work. That's too radical. Did you have these? That's too simplistic, right? Remember the first time? That's a dumb idea. I need something better. That's not practical. Did you have some of these thoughts? No. What did I also do to you? I asked you to cut out a small piece of paper, didn't I? What did I do? You see how I restrict your thinking? And what did I keep saying? If you really listen to what I said, only come up with what? Good ideas. Right? What did I do to you? I know I squeezed you down to a small piece of paper and only good ideas that you became so judgmental of your own ideas you didn't write anything down.
That's true.
Right? It's exactly what I did to you. Then I flipped it. I said, okay, now get a big piece of paper, right? Anything goes, I said. Find one person to scribe and you write down like mad. Do you see the difference? In other words, when you look at this, I asked you to form groups, right? Select a scribe. This is everything we did. Now, all ideas were acceptable, right? I said anything's acceptable. And all of a sudden you started writing down. Now, what made the difference? Collaboration. All right? Would you agree? Collaboration. What else made a difference? Competition. Because what did you want to do? You wanted to beat the other team, right? Come on, admit it. Come on, admit it. Come on, it's that capitalism in you, right? It's got to compete, right? And then the last one, it says, here's an incentive. I'll give you a free book. And then I saw all of a sudden, like, damn, you guys started writing faster. Do you see what happens when you're constricted? When you can't think. But who's our biggest enemy when it comes to our own ideas? right? But by the way, when you look at people restricting your thinking, I want you to think about your jobs. Because what people do with your job is that they what? Put you in a cubicle, right? Very small cubicle. Only let you do so much, right? So all of a sudden, that's your space. Did you ever think about that? Your thoughts are restricted. That's why you can't be as creative as you want to be. Which is why a lot of people want to be what? Entrepreneurs, right? Because they want to do their own thing. They want to be creative. Don't let people restrict your thinking. Get it? Got it. Good. All right, setting up shop. What I'm going to do for the first half hour, 45 minutes, is I'm going to go over some business basics, okay? Not like Business 101 basic. Tools, okay? Because how many here, well, no, you know, I'm going into it. It'll be for some of you and not for others, okay? Can I go? Yeah. All right, now, here, first of all, are you thinking about a product you want to sell? If you are, describe that product. Just write it down. Write it down. Take advantage of today. This is a great time to do this. You got this idea. By the way, this is going to help you later, because if you have an idea of what you think you want to do, I'm going to help you later so you can turn that into a six-figure income, okay? And you're going to have to refer back to this. So you might want to write this down. First line, describe your product/service, okay? Got it? All right, the second thing I'd like you to do is describe your target market. You know, if you're selling to somebody, who is that somebody? Describe them. Now, don't say everybody. That's the only answer that's not acceptable, okay? Who do you sell to? Who do you want to sell that product to? By the way, the more you define that target market, the better, okay? Third, got a name for your business? Put it down. Because we're getting creative here. We're building our own business today, okay? I want you to start thinking about your own business. And the last thing, this is my favorite. At the end it says desired revenue per year. How much money do you want to make a year? How much money do you want to make a year? Write that number down. A lot of people say, I want to make a lot of money. Is that a goal? No. Not a goal. By the way, here's what I did. I said by the time I'm 45, I'll share my goals with you. It's very simple. I want to work 2 days a month and make minimum of $20,000. Radical, huh? But fantastic. I'll describe later how I'm like more than halfway there, okay? But I need you to start writing down a number and saying, where do I want to be? This is the number I want to make, and this is what would make me happy. Are all the numbers in this room going to be the same? No. We each have our own needs, correct? Yes. Absolutely. Okay. Now, a lot of people struggle with business plans. How many people are familiar with this tool right here? It's called Business Plan Pro. Raise your hand if you've seen it. A few people? I'm going to share, this was just worth coming. I talked to the VP. I bought this last year, and I bought the last 3 revisions, okay? I'll pass this around. You can see it, but please don't cop it. Now, what it is that it has now over 500 sample business plans. Now, I know what you're saying. They're templates, Victor. I can't use template. Oh, you're so wrong. What happens is that every year, this company, Palo Alto Software, holds a competition for the best business plans. And in those business plans, do you think they have real data on the market? Yes. Yes. They have real data on the market, and it's only, by the way, at Best Buy for $99. $99. The majority of people are unaware. Less than 5% of the people in here actually know that this thing is actually out there and it works. Okay? By the way, I used this software about 2-3 years ago, and just to get about $100,000 in financing. Okay? They have over 500 business plans. I don't care what your topic is, what you want to sell, or what you're thinking of doing. There is a business plan in here for you. For me, I wound up using a combination of 2 business plans. And they have everything. Cash flow calculator, starting cost calculator, discounted cash flow, break-even point. By the way, if you don't understand any of these terms, doesn't matter. It's in the software. For every item, there's a description. It's an MBA in a box. It's an MBA in a box. By the way, they've also added, on the bottom part, the last 3, may not make sense to a few of you, but what they did is they added the conversion rate calculator, email return on investment calculator, and the pay-per-click calculator. So if now you're doing internet marketing, which we're going to talk about in the afternoon, you'll be able to understand your pay-per-click and conversion ratios. Those words and phrases may not mean anything, but I guarantee you that the majority of you have websites. Who has a website here? Because we're going to look at your website later. And I'll tell you how good your website is. In fact, I'll be probably able to guess how much traffic you get just by looking at it. And then by the end of the day, you'll be able to do the same. How's that sound? Good? Great. Okay, great. Now, is that helpful? Yes. It's a great business plan. The software is fantastic. It's not that hard to use. And by the way, it's all menu driven. So it walks you step by step. Please enter this, please enter this. Here's a small idea for some of you who may be thinking about it. One lady decided to buy the software and then turn around and sell it as a consulting service. And she does business plans for people. What does she charge for business plan? $5,000 to develop your business plan. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Damn, I didn't think about it that way, right? Because you're thinking in a box. I'm trying to get you out of the Skinnerian box. You see what I mean? Think about it. I mean, the tool's there. Why not use it? The fact that you're here and the other folks decided not to show up, good for you. Good for you. Take advantage of them. They're lazy. They're at home. They didn't want to come. Fine. Sell them the business plan for $5,000. Okay? That's what they get for not coming. Okay? Get it? Got it. Good. All right. All right, let's talk about collateral. Well, collateral is just basically brochures. I'm walking you through the process. You know, you get your business plan. Now we got to start. We got the name of the business. I know how much money I want to make. Let's start getting something on paper, right? Because I see people who hand me a Xerox copy of their business. Is that a good deal or bad deal? Bad deal. Can we agree that first impressions count? We can agree, right? First impressions count. So what do we want to do? Hand Xerox copies? No. So let's talk about just getting our first 1 or 2 page brochure going, okay? I use Vistaprint. How many of you use Vistaprint? Right? Besides the free business cards. Okay? Besides the free... By the way, did you understand their marketing strategy for that? For the free business card? You get it for like, I think you get 200 free business cards. They give it to you free, $250. And then what they do on the back is they put what? Vistaprint. You're marketing for them. You know? It's a great tool. Could you do that? Could you do that? Yeah. Find a way to use your material so other people can market you. Get it? Now, create a brochure. I always tell people when you're first starting out your business, don't print a lot of brochures. What I like about Vistaprint, you can do small quantities. If not, just go to Kinko's or Staples. Same thing, okay? But make sure that when you write your information, what are we looking for? Features or benefits? Benefits. Features or benefits? Because that's how we study, right? Benefits, right? It's all about benefits. Ladies, say yes. 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 Ladies, for example, if a guy comes up to you and he says he has a job, is that a feature or a benefit? Feature. No! It's a benefit. He can afford to pay for my dinner and keep, you know, maintain me to some extent. Right? Oh, by the way, it works the other way around. Right? Guys, if a lady has a job, is that a feature or benefit? Benefit, right? By the way, again, okay, ladies, I'm going to give you one more test. If the gentleman has a car, is that a feature or benefit? Feature or benefit? It's a benefit unless you want to ride public transportation. And I've seen your public transportation. Trust me, I don't care how bad the car is. It's better than that. All right? So we're going to create a brochure. We're going to create a brochure. And by the way, are you familiar with using Adobe? Okay. You know, to create PDF files? Do you know what a PDF file is? Yes. What happened, for those who don't understand, you take a Word document. What was happening in the past is that people were stealing other people's information, you know, copying and pasting it on their own. So a PDF is basically a way of protecting a document from being copied. Okay? PDF stands for Portable Digital File. The most popular is Adobe. You've probably seen them. Yeah. If you need to put a tool in your kit, it's an Adobe program. Okay? You need an Adobe program. They have one in Best Buy between us. Can I tell you a secret now? See, because you're here. I got to share. If you go to Best Buy, they have something called the PDF converter. And you know what it does? It converts documents into PDFs, but the best part, it converts PDFs into Word documents. So now let me teach you a secret, but you got to use it wisely and don't steal. So let's say you don't have any creative juices going, right? You need to think about it. Because we all need help, right? We all need a tickler once in a while, right? This is what I want you to do next time. Type in a topic into a search engine. Type in a topic, right? Say marketing, right? And let's say you have a presentation the next day, you need a PowerPoint. Type in marketing space .ppt. You know, .ppt, which is what, a PowerPoint, right? Or .doc for a document. You know what's going to come back? Everything that's PowerPoint. I mean, it's PowerPoint doc, but most of them are what? In PDF format, right? And then you see some graphs you like to use or some sources you like to use to quote, right? So what you use the PDF converter to convert it back to a document, and then you just use it. But make sure you give credit to the sources, okay? The PDF converter is at Best Buy, costs $50. One of the best tools you can invest in. Get it? Yeah, now you know how to... Best Buy. You know, if it's a good store, it's a good store. By the way, we all know that the e-books and everything else is easy to mail, right? Like e-books, e-brochures, it's easier than mailing. Do a lot of us still send it out via email, regular mail? Who still sends out stuff? No. We know what happens. Circular file, right? And you can also post it on your website. Easy download. Okay? Building a website. How many of you, by show of hands, have spent thousands of dollars on a website? Just a few of you? Well, I've seen birds. I know it's a great website. So 4 or 5 people. How many have a website here? Their own website, not the company's website, their own website. Okay, what'd you spend on your website?
I got my supplier to do it for me.
Okay, who else?
$3.95 a month.
$3.95 a month, okay. That's it.
$100 a year.
$100 a year? They shouldn't cost anymore. 5 years ago, you couldn't get a website cheap. Now, I always recommend GoDaddy. You register for $8.95, you get hosting, I'll explain that later. You get web building software. It's less than $5 a month. Can you guys afford $5 a month? Yes. I have people tell me, that's a little bit much. If $5 is a little bit much, you got other bigger problems than the website, okay? You with me on that? You got other issues right now. But if you're just starting out your business and you don't want to spend a lot of money, I did a seminar in New York on Monday, and this poor lady had spent $4,500 on her website. She says, I'm not getting traffic. I looked at the website, I go, I know why you're not getting traffic. And the sad thing is, you can tell it was her last $4,500, if you know what I mean. And I said, you know, all you really need to do is use something like this to really get going, to define your business. The first time you put up your website, is it going to be perfect? No. Right, you're going to make changes, right? The problem with having somebody else do it is what? You lose control, right? Because this is what happens. I mean, people get websites for 5 sources. You got the internet service provider, right? Bell South will do it for you, right? You saw that infomercial at 3 in the morning, right? Today, only today, if you get your website, you'll be a millionaire tomorrow. You saw it, right? So most people get it that way. Yellow Pages, you build it yourself, or you found some friend to build it for you. In most cases, what happens, if somebody else builds it for you, what do? They put it in your lap, slap you on the back, and what do they say? Adios. Good luck. Good luck, right? You don't know what to do with it. What's the average going rate to have your website edited per hour? 80? The lowest price you're ever going to find is $50. High side I heard is about $150. So that means every time you make a change, you've got to go get it edited. You got to pay that. Are you willing to do that? No. Do you guys like pain? No. So absolutely. So bring some control back by being able to do it yourself. This is a great place to start if you don't have a lot of money and you just want to start out with your website to get your business going. Get it? Got it. Good. And then, have you guys seen this software? Who's seen GoDaddy? You know how it works? Who's never registered a domain name? Show of hands. Never. All right. Here, let's see if we can get this. I'm going to see if the wireless works. I kept this as a reminder. How many feel a little technophobic or a little afraid of technology? A couple? Okay, we all been there. I've been there. I've been there. This is what GoDaddy looks like. I just want you to look at it real quick. And then you come in here, you register your name, Victor's cue balls. I can't come up with something. So I got a billiard room. Want to play cue balls? And so it'll tell me on the top if it's available. You select it. It's available. You pay your $8.95. $8.95 is your annual fee, for $9 a year. You pay, you register. 6 months or 9 months before it's about to expire, they'll remind you. You got 30 days. You got 60 days, then you got 30 days, so forth. $9 a year to register. That's how simple it is. The software, for those of you feeling technophobic, who raised their hands? They're a little technophobic. Today, if you can you cut and paste? Can you click and drag? You can design a software. You can design the web page. It's just that simple. It's not that tough. 5 years ago, you couldn't have said that. Get it? Got it. Good. All right. Like I said, I'm trying to give you resources. And by the way, they got a software in there. It's a web-based software. Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah. That you can't download it anymore. The software is always up there on the servers, which means that you can be anywhere in the world on anybody's computer, and you can still access your web page and actually make changes. Okay? Beautiful feature. All right? See what we got next. This is what I call digit droppers. You know what a digit dropper is? Something that drops your digits. Okay? In other words, you're losing money. Never use a free email account on your business card. It screams, it yells. I'm unprofessional. I'm a rookie. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Don't do business with me. Every time I see @BellSouth, @Yahoo, @Gmail, don't call me.
AOL.
Right? @AOL, so forth and so on. I mean, if you're going to promote a business, should you promote the business? I just told you that you can get a website for $8.95, plus $9 to register. You also get a free email account. So why do I keep seeing @BellSouth, @Yahoo, and so forth? Do not do it. You want to lose respect, credibility right away? Present your business card with free email on it. Get it? Get it? Because I still get them, by the way. I still get the business card.
For instance, how would I do that?
When you go up on the software, it actually assigns you an account. So what it'll do is that whatever you're, like I had victorscueball.com, they can give me, let's say, info or victor@victorscueball.com. By the way, when you send somebody your email with your address, are you also promoting your business? Yes. Right? Because as soon as you see the back part, you can actually see that's what website it pertains to. Okay? And later on, if you want to see it, I can show you how you do that. But it's an automatic account they give to you. Okay? All right. So what do we got so far? We should have brochures. We should have website. What else did we talk about? Website, brochure. PDFs, great. Now, checklist. Before you build your website, here's a small checklist. Okay, we already talked about defining what you're going to sell. Remember we talked about what's your company, what are you going to sell? I need you to go through those things. Don't contact anybody if you want somebody else to do this, okay? Now, get your content written, you know. Okay? And then again, how do you want your web page laid out? By the way, the best strategy I found to do this is that you take blank pieces of paper, right? So if I have what I did to design my website, I take a paper, 8.5 by 11, I put it on the floor. And that's my home page, right? And I write what I want on my home page, right? And then, almost like an organization chart, I said, these are my 4 or 5 sub-pages. And I write a title on each page. For this product A, product B, product C, product D. And then I write my information for product A, B, C, D. If I want sub-pages, what do? Create the next row, right? And when you do that, you can actually see how your website is laid out. Does that make sense? Because when you go to a web designer, if you don't want to do it, that's it. It's all laid out for you. So these are my pages. This is the content. Here it is. Get it?
Got it.
Good. Again, unless you're willing to pay $100 on average per hour. Select pictures you have on your site before you go to see them. Your contact information. Again, you want to find some type of P.O. box, am I right? Or you're going to have people showing up at your house. You know? So what does a mailbox cost around here these days? $200 a year? $200 a year? Okay, so we're talking about what? It's $20 a month on average. Should you invest $20 on average in your business? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, by the way, what's that?
If you have a physical office.
If you have a physical office, even better. I just assume most folks don't. But if you have a physical office, absolutely. Why not? But again, I see people who still use their home addresses, and I'm like always, get something professional. Get it? Got it. Good. All right. So anyway, I just told you, don't contact a web designer if you don't have all this together. So, again, I'm trying to get you going in business here for those of you who are thinking about doing it. So make sure you got your information, you got what you're going to sell, and again, don't do that. What is the most popular product sold on the internet today?
Information.
It is. It's pornography.
Yeah? By the way, just like back in the days in the Old West, the red districts still exist on the internet, and that is the most popular. Oh, yeah. And so what we're going to do is, besides the 3-letter word XEX, what is the most popular product?
Information.
It is information. Information is the most sought after information today on the internet. People are downloading information like mad. The amount of money people are making just selling information is incredible. Now, everybody in here, can you sell information? Yes. For those of you who didn't answer, you had that little voice in the background going, I don't know what I could offer, Victor. Did you think it? Did you think it? Everybody in here has a discipline they're good at. I met a lady who all she offered was information on how to what? Cultivate tomatoes. Now, are there a lot of books written on tomatoes? But she said, I'm still selling my information. Is she making money selling her information on cultivating tomatoes? Yes. Yes. In the market, in business today, there are thousands. When I say thousands, there are thousands of target groups. Do you know what I mean? There's so many groups out there that want your information that, again, it's up to you to really find where that niche is. So start thinking about what information could I offer and make money at. Okay? So let's talk about product creation. Because a lot of us don't have product, right? We don't have anything to sell. I'm going to show you how to create and where to find product to sell. Okay? Now, this is my stuff. I publish my own book. This is what I do. I publish my own book. I use Word document. I'm going to give you the resource where I go. elance.com. How many know what elance.com is? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Look around. Look around. The most powerful tool on the internet, and only 2 people know what it is. I'm about to save you a whole hell of a lot of money right now, but you don't know it yet. Elance.com, it's like an auction website where you can actually post your project. I don't care what your project is, you post your project. People from all over the world will bid on your product to develop it for you. So I used it several ways. One, I needed a graphic designer to design my cover. I put it up there. By the way, I compared to what you get on the street, so to speak. Trust me, you want to use Elance every time. You can get a website for less than $200 developed for you. For you. Why? Because you got people in Singapore, Malaysia, all these places who are developing the websites. And they'll show you what it looks like. And the way Elance works is fascinating. You never talk to the person, but all the bids are controlled. In other words, you post your product, right? Your project. People bid on them. You can see all the bids coming in. But here's the best part. You can see all the bids coming in, but you can also see what projects they've worked on in the past, what ratings they've been given, and their portfolio that's online. So now, when somebody bids, and only you can see the bid, you just go through and look at what people have given them. They got average star rankings, average price. You can look at all the projects they've done. You can even look at how much money they've made this year. All year to date. So everything from the beginning of the year to date, you can see how much money they made. What does that tell you? They're busy or not. If they're busy, if the number's high, you might want to look at them. But again, they have a star rating. They have their portfolio. So you can look at the material, see if it's your style. And then you can contact them, but everything goes through Elance. And the way it works is you set up how it works. You open an account. You give them your credit card. They charge you like $2 or $3. I don't remember the number. Don't hold me to it. But that's just to open the account. What they do is they hold the credit card. Once they hold the credit card, what you can then do is say, if you accept the project, I can pay 10% to get the guy started, or the gal, right? And then on the first draft, I'll pay another 40, 50%. Upon final approval, I'll pay the last 50%. Okay? And that's just taken or charged to your credit card automatically. See how it works? Yeah. Any project you have right now, you want somebody to look at your marketing material, edit it. I had somebody edit my books. I put them up on Elance, boom. The first book I wrote, which is, you can't see it, it's called The Corporate Inferno. If your job is hell, you want to read The Inferno. So, my first novel, it's on business ethics. And I found somebody via the internet to actually edit it. It's about 200-some pages. $2,500 to edit, which is a going rate. It's a decent rate for a good editor. Now, I found Elance like a year and a half later. I said, okay, now I'm going to take my book, the second one, The Logic of Success, and have it edited. $375.
Same quality?
Then, no, this one was better. It was better, no exaggeration, it was better than the person who charged me $2,500. Then, I wanted to translate The Logic of Success into La Lógica del Éxito, right? So, what I then did, you like that, huh? So you got it, good. Now, what I did then is I posted it, say I want it translated in Spanish. The winning bid, after I reviewed their credentials background, was in Argentina. Because they had the best neutral Spanish. You know, at least those translators did. $700 to translate the whole book. The whole book. Cover, new design for the cover. When you see it, you'll laugh. I lost my head. It was like $350, I think, for the cover design. And they'll put your ISBN number. It's perfect. For a lot of you, I don't care if you're in a small business or in a corporation, this is the most underused resource. Now you know, right? So if you want somebody to do, by the way, you want somebody to do your PowerPoint presentation for you because you don't know how to do it, just want to give them the text, bam, you blast it on there. Now, how many of you really like the idea of Elance? You like it? All right, you each give me $1 then. Yeah. By the way, in all seriousness, it's a fantastic resource. You have to visit it. Yes?
These self-published books?
All these are self-published books. Ask me why. Because I can't get published. But by the way, did you know that on average, a published author in 2004, I believe, only sold on average about 500 books? And by the time distribution, agents, and everybody kicked in, they got about $1. And that's $500 that they probably got. I do more than that sometimes in one event now. You know, because I sell about 500 to 800 books now myself. So in other words, it's like anything else. In business, nobody's going to promote you like you. You got it. Am I right? Because I've learned in this business, after I quit corporate America, before corporate America, I had a lot of friends. When you quit, man, you're in the desert. They don't return your phone calls. They don't want to talk to you. Why? Because you can't help them anymore. I'm sorry. And I learned this in Chicago, and I always tell people this. I tell my friends this. Nobody is going to hook you up. Nobody's going to help you. And by the way, it isn't because people are mean. They just don't have the time, and they don't have your passion. Am I right? Right. But what do a lot of us do? We always try to depend on our friends. Well, Bob said he'd do it tomorrow for me. I'll just wait another week, right? And next thing you know, it never gets done. Am I right? You with me? Yeah. All right, good. Now, that's what I use, instantpublisher.com. Now, I know a few of you folks have used it. How many have heard it? Instant Publisher? Raise your hand. A few again. My friends don't count. So again, you got less than 5 people who know something like Instant Publisher. By the way, this is not print on demand, okay, where they keep a big percentage. This is fantastic. I've used it for the last 3 or 4 years. Here's the great thing. You remember in the past where if you ordered a book, you had to buy like 1,000? Right? Because that was the minimum, right? Instant Publisher, 25. Minimum. $25, 25 books minimum you have to purchase. They got a price calculator in there, and it costs you about, if you only order 25, and it depends on the number of pages, it's going to cost you about $5. Can you afford to publish your own material now? Can you afford to publish your own material now? Right. So again, I just gave you 2 great resources. One is I showed you where to edit all your stuff, where to get websites cheap, where to get your brochures developed, and all that's Elance, right? Yep. I showed you how to get a website for less than what, $8 a month? Okay? And I also just showed you how to publish your own material. That's cheap. Now at this point, at this very moment, there should be no obstacle in your mind saying, I can't do something. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Does it also work for brochures or only for books?
Minimum pages, I believe, is 20. Okay? Minimum pages. Good question. Does it only work for books? Can you do brochures? Minimum pages is, I believe, only 20. Okay? I would not use it for a brochure. I think I use another resource called, that's not it, USA Printing Online or something. You have to ask me later, but there's other places. I mean, you can go online and get them anywhere, you know. By the way, are you familiar with this link? Bowker link. You know that on the back of the book you got an ISBN number? You ever see those ISBN numbers? Okay, that's where you get it. So if you ever want to publish your own material, by the way, is it just for books? No. Nope. For your CDs, your audio, your DVDs, whatever it is, you go to Bowker link. I forgot what the fee is, and you do pay an annual fee, but they give you your ISBN numbers. Put the graphics on your book. Now you can sell them on Amazon. Okay? Now, small warning, because they don't tell you this. If you use instant publishers, or how many of you used disc makers before? I know a lot of people use disc. No? Do you know what disc makers is? No. Wow. You guys don't have resources. That's your problem. The discmakers.com is a website that allows you to, if you want to publish like DVDs and stuff like that, you can upload your graphics, send them your material, they print them up and make them look beautiful. And they also give you ISBN numbers, just like Instant Publisher. The problem with using somebody else's ISBN number is that when somebody does a search, they show up as the publisher, and your name may not show up at all, okay? So footnote for those who are thinking of publishing something, get your own ISBN number, okay? Don't use somebody else's. Okay? Just go to Bowker link and you register, okay? And it'll sign you 10 minimum. Yes, sir.
Does that imply that you're keeping the rights to your books, property rights?
Yeah, I mean, it's yours.
It's your ownership.
It's yours. I mean, the thing is, you're printing it under their banner, almost like if they were a publisher, but your name doesn't show up as the publisher.
Right.
So, yeah.
But the issue is having ownership over your material.
No, you always have ownership over your own material. That's correct. You always. The question was, who has ownership? You always have ownership of the material. So there's a lot of people in here. How many have kind of want to always write a book? Just here, show of hands. Just write a small book. By the way, I was in New York. I was talking to a guy. He had this whole idea on philosophy, on what he wanted to do. You know, and he told me this whole, ladies, just hold on a second. He had this whole thing for about he had only 25 pages, and it was the philosophy on why hell existed, right? And I wanted to get out of the taxi, because I was like, when somebody starts talking like that, you want to get out, right? So we're stuck in traffic, and I'm like, oh, hit me with it, you know? So he starts talking to me. He's a philosophy major. He goes into this whole thing, and he's talking, and all of a sudden, by the end of the cab ride, I'm like, well, damn, maybe you're right, you know, the whole thing, right? So I said to him, I said, why don't you publish your book? Why don't you publish it? He says, well, it's only 25 pages. What do you think my response was? Is there a universal rule here I don't know about that says it has to be more than 25 pages? Is there? No. I mean, when we buy something, what do we want? Information, right? And what you're going to learn in life when you do publishing, what do people want more? Your ideas or your information? Your ideas or your information? No. Nobody cares about your ideas. They want your information, right? You're here because you want information. I can tell you about the Republican Party, you know, the Democrats, whatever. You go, so what? You're just one out of many, e pluribus unum, with an opinion, right? But if I say, here's how to make six figures, you're like, whoa, wait a minute, got my attention, right? Because one thing's ideas, another thing is information. People don't want your ideas, they want your information. You got to understand that. So when we provide something, what do we provide? Content, right? When somebody buys a product off your product sheet, they're reading what? The product, features, and benefits. They don't want your philosophy on life.